All right, welcome back to DangIT Prodcast, the show where we talk about video games, anime, manga. My name is Justin.
And I'm Philip.
What's up? And welcome back, everybody. It's been another week, and honestly, I thought that last week would just be like, that's it for January. We're done. See you guys next month. No, they actually had something else. Well, granted, they also had the Microsoft thing, but I was still on the highs of like the Switch too.
I'm gonna be on that high until it comes out.
This is true. I mean, we're waiting for just a little bit. I'm hoping that we get some update as far as like, oh, you've been selected on the April opportunity.
Yeah. What today is currently the 25th, correct?
Yes.
You have till tomorrow. Everybody has till tomorrow to sign up.
Gotcha.
At the time of this recording.
The time of the stream, when it becomes a VOD, well, I mean the VOD will show up, but yeah, pretty much. So
yep.
I'm glad that they decided to leave it something that was just open-ended for people just to jump in, and then I guess they would just have to pick by just lottery who gets to show up.
But question, did you attempt for every single time?
No, because when I was there, it was like, oh, everything was kind of grayed out. I was like, okay. Although, if I did have that
for every time in Saturday.
Oh.
Because everything's not grayed out anymore. It's all up now. It's just.
Oh, really? Then maybe I should.
It's literally just an open registration for time slots.
Gotcha. Oh.
And then you basically put your name in and if you have a family account, you can take up to 5 people in your family account.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there you go, okay, hopefully you get picked.
Gotcha. So, I mean, I guess maybe I should go ahead and just hop in, go for the other days as well.
Mm-hmm. It said it's about 2 hour and 20-minute experience.
That's nice.
It's going to be for us, we're going for what, LA? So it's
pretty much.
City? It's in a movie studio.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
I hope we get picked. That'd be so tight.
Yeah, and considering the fact that it's 2 hours, but they kind of have like slots open like an hour apart from each other, it's like, oh, okay, well, they have a system going, but they're definitely not just cutting us up as far as time.
Yeah,
just to meet everybody.
And I'm assuming they're doing it on those days that they're asking for us because they're going to show off the games we're going to play and stuff. So I can't wait.
For sure. Like I'm really looking forward to it, and considering that like we've been kind of talking about a little bit more so, where like it's when you really think about it, it is just the Switch. I mean, granted, it is like a new piece of hardware, so that's always exciting. But even then, like on the outside, it doesn't look like much. It would be the software, and we do have that April Direct. We're going to see some new like games for sure that'll be previewed like over there at the event. So I'm looking forward to seeing the selection. I'm hoping that's like Mario Kart. You know what? I'm gonna keep things neutral about Zelda as much as I'd love to have it somewhere there, but otherwise, I mean, if they just threw in Metroid somewhere in there, that'd be great.
I'm thinking it's mostly just like Mario Kart for sure, but more like anything that they announced first party wise. That's soon, relatively sooner, like within the next 3 months after launch.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to be like third parties. So it's like whatever third party games they're going to show off that day, or like what's launching on the day of, like kind of like how Switch 1 experience was, where they had like Bomberman R, and they had Puyo Puyo Tetris, and Sonic Mania was there, and Ultra Street Fighter 2. Like they were showing off the games that they had talked about and shown.
Gotcha.
And then like I think the big ones they were trying to show off was like 1-2 Switch, Zelda Breath of the Wild, ARMS. Like
I guess they would try to incorporate like maybe a party-esque game in there.
Yeah,
I just don't know what it would be.
Yeah, my bet is that Mario Kart is obvious. We were talking about this at work yesterday. I think up until this point, the bet is that it's Mario Kart. Mario Kart's going to be the launch game, which is I think we talked about it last week, which is just weird. It's weird. It's weird to me that it's not a mainline Mario, or it's not a like a Zelda game. Again, GameCube didn't have one either. It was Luigi's Mansion, but also I feel like that didn't matter when Smash Melee came out 2 weeks after the launch. So it's weird. It's literally just weird. Like I cannot believe that we're in a timeline where mainline Mario is not the launch game.
I feel like
I get it.
I also kind of had the feeling that it would be something similar to Odyssey, just be within the release year.
I
think that
that's a strong bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a strong bet, and Nintendo is also one publisher that's not afraid to go like release a game near Grand Theft Auto 6 time
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't affect them. Like Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to affect more PlayStation and Xbox users than it is Switch 2 users.
Mm. Also, I wanted to kind of chime in for Ibrahim over here. Talk about, he's not able to like try out the Switch at the time right now, but it's kind of concerned about the attachment of like the controller for the Joy-Cons. It'll be interesting to test that out if we get that chance to do it early on. Otherwise, I guess we'll wait and see. But definitely considering the fact they are bigger.
The grip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too.
The grip. I am assuming there's going to be like a new Pro controller. There's going to be like new things. They're going to do that. Direct is going to have everything, right? It's supposed to have like prices for everything, controllers,
other
games,
features.
software.
Yeah, I honestly just like go through the entire rap sheet of like what the Switch 2 can do.
Exactly.
In the experience.
So like I'm probably the goal for me on launch day is to pick up the first party titles. All of the first party ones for sure. Pick and choose the third party ones, like be like, okay, what do I really want? Because last time I only picked up Bomberman day one because the other two choices was Just Dance or Skylanders. So yeah, it wasn't really a hard sell. But and then pick up one Pro controller and then the console. That's it.
Gotcha.
That's usually what I try to go for the goal day one. We'll see.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I can imagine that. Just for me, it'd be actually that's kind of tough. I think because now I'm on a budget now, I think I will go with like obviously the console, one game. I think that'll be it, and I can wait as long as the other Switch Pro controllers are supported. Then I should be okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just depends on what the games are, right? Like what is actually launching day one. Mario Kart's basically guaranteed at this point. So we're all picking up Mario Kart to play online.
So yeah, essentially, and that'll give you a lot of mileage.
Yeah, literally, and in the game. And we're going to be playing a ton of Mario Kart that night. Honestly, it's going to be a crazy night that day. I'm trying to get the day off that weekend to play Mario Kart.
For sure. But yeah, so I think that's everything as far as like Switch 2 stuff. I guess we'll just have to wait until April. But obviously, each and every passing month has something new showing up here. You know what? Before we jump into like the actual topics, I wanted to give shout outs to some of the games that are coming out like next month. I had been totally forgetting about like Trails to Daybreak 2. That's coming out in February. As well as the physical for Bakiru. That one's already like paid out, so I'll just be picking that up whenever I can.
Yeah, I've got Daybreak. I've got Daybreak pre-ordered. So.
Yeah, and of course Monster Hunter's there too. So it's like, oh god.
Monster Hunter Wilds is a big one next month. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza.
That's right. That is
in Hawaii.
February. Yeah. And then of course, we all know about March. March is kind of crazy for both Nintendo as well as the Atelier series. So
there's also a big Xbox game next month, and that's Avowed.
Ooh, you're right.
Avowed is a big game for next month.
Ooh.
Yeah, like every console, like all of the three, has a pretty fun game next month at least. Like we don't know first party Nintendo. I have a theory. Because again, I think we brought this up a little bit, but I just want to go and throw this into the ether and hope maybe this is a thing. There should be a normal direct soon.
Oh yeah,
Switch
we were talking
related.
About that, yeah.
Maybe Switch 1. Like focus more on just Nintendo Switch because obviously third parties and Nintendo themselves are not going to give up on it yet.
I feel that.
Okay. What if Hear me out, because this happened when this other one came out. They drop the game day of the direct, and then the physical copy comes out 2 weeks later. And I'm referring to Metroid Prime 2 Remastered.
Oh, you are right. We are just due for them. And that's not going to be like Switch 2 exclusive type of thing. That's definitely Switch territory.
Yeah. So that would be an interesting way to just be like, hey, by the way, here is your February game. Surprise.
Surprise.
Because Xenoblade's March, and then we still need to figure out when Pokemon Legend ZA lands and Metroid Prime 4 lands.
Oh, true. I forgot about Pokemon because of the fact that they haven't dropped anything, and they also been keeping quiet for a good
Yeah.
while.
Well,
The
Pokemon Day is also on the 27th.
That's
So,
true. Otherwise, the last Pokemon Presents should have been like around October timeline, and they were just not there. They announced like some drops here and there as far as like video games and their other byproduct stuff, but they weren't there at all. So it's kind of interesting to see them just kind of take a little bit of a break and then come back. So look forward to that. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into first topic that we got going on here, and that is Phantom Blade Zero. Y'all remember that?
hmm oh, wait, did you want to do topics or pickups?
Ooh, yeah, I just saw that on my little notes here. You know what? Forget what I said. So we're gonna be talking about game pickups.
Hell yeah.
I got two. We each share two. So
Yeah, we do share too.
so
You wanna-
what you
I'll keep
you
those
want?
for the end then.
Yeah, you want to take lead, and I will. I'll chime in with my games as well.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm just gonna piggyback right real quick.
my first pickup is technically a retro pickup. Whoa, I know
Whoa!
it's been a little bit since I picked up retro games, but I also just spotted this and it was only like $6, and
Oh,
I was like, okay. And now, don't crucify me out there, everybody. I have not. I've played the game. I never owned it physically. And so I have played it, but I've never beaten it. I've never played the sequel or any of its sequels, even though I own the PS4 one.
hmm.
And I was just so nervous because I felt like I was like, I should play these. I should play these. And Ghost of Yote is coming out this year. And so, and again, I've been in a PlayStation mood with Astrobot. So I found this and I was like, Anaya would be proud. Anaya would be very proud
Hmm?
because I picked up Infamous.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah.
Where did you find that?
At work.
Oh, okay. That I guess that'd be the only like lead.
Yeah. Yeah. But yes, it was like $6, and I was like, okay, the disc is clean. I'll do it.
All right, fair enough, fair enough.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So
Cool.
I've never finished Infamous. I've always started it a long time ago. Never really finished it. Never played Infamous 2 ever.
Hmm.
And then I have Second Son literally sitting on the shelf. I never played it. So I
That's fair.
intend to play through Infamous because I really like Sucker Punch games. And I've
Hmm.
been playing Sly Cooper again. So,
Very nice, very nice.
And then Ghost of Yote is this year. So I got to catch up. Got to catch up on the
it's this
Sucker Punch
year.
stuff.
Ooh.
It is this year. What a year, dude. And we'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh my god.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But what a year, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Next on the list are my limited run stuff. It's only 4 stuff, but let's see.
There's only
I
4
got
stuff.
finally. I know. I finally got this in. You've already shown this off before, but I finally got it in. And you have it on Xbox.
Oh yeah,
This
yeah.
is the Switch. This is the Switch version of Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition.
Very nice, very nice, very nice.
I'm excited. This is literally one of the best Ubisoft games ever made.
Mm.
And it is so crazy that like it took them this long to re-release this game. But 20th anniversary, it includes cut content. If you like Zelda, you'll love this game. It literally plays like an old classic like Ocarina of Time style Zelda game.
Ooh.
It's very good. With the obviously modern things and like traversement is different. But
Yeah.
yes.
Like
Yeah.
pseudo modern like
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Next on the list is thankfully a game I will never have to track down on its original hardware because good lord, it goes for like $500 to $600. So $35 compared to that, I was like, screw it, this is the way I'm gonna own it.
Mhm.
And that is for the Game Boy Advance's Holy Grail, Ninja 5 by Konami.
Hey. Very nice.
Literally, I guess it comes with both the Japanese version and the American version. Which is funny because like the Japanese one's straight up called Ninja Cop. That makes sense because 5-0 is more like an American saying, like. But yeah, it is the original Game Boy Advance game on a Switch card.
Very nice.
That's it. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 2D like action game. It's got like a funky control system, but like once you get it down, it's actually kind of fun.
Okay.
So I'm I'm excited to like really play it. I only dabbled it. I only like moved a little bit and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I'll play this later.
It is what it is.
Yep. And then the other two, the two that we share,
Okay.
I'll start with the first one. And this is a game I'm glad got physical, like a actual physical release, because it was gonna get delisted. And thank God it didn't, because it's such a good game. And that is for Rain World.
Ooh. We got that one as well.
Mhm,
We pretty much got it the
mhm.
same day.
I think we did, yeah. They shipped them
Mhm.
all out the same day, yeah.
So very nice.
That's crazy thing to say out loud.
Crazy.
Abraham in the chat. No, Rain World's cool. It's a really, really challenging 2D platformer, but it's got like this really crazy vibe, and
Mm.
the music's like atmospheric. It's really cool looking. It's also pixel art, and it looks great. So I'm really excited to play Rain World. I know PS4 got a physical copy of it years ago
Mm.
from Limited Run, so I'm kind of glad they finally got around to doing the Switch version. So this is hype. And this was an Adult Swim Games game
Mm.
published by them. And now that Warner Brothers cut that whole department out
Yeesh.
and they were delisting those games, that was on the chopping board. But I guess the original developer was able to buy the game back.
Very nice.
So it's in good hands. And then the last pickup is a game I think you and me were just like, God, I hope it gets a physical copy. Because that's so cool. And I know Anaya has been wanting to get it too.
Mm.
And it's like, man, what a premise, dude, right? The same team who made Sonic Mania, like, come on. And that is for Penny's Big Breakaway.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's crazy because, like, honestly, you look at this game and like how it plays, and you're like, dude, this. I mean, granted, the team is now kind of seasoned with making games now, but it's like I still kind of like view it almost like an indie game. And can we argue that it is still?
It's technically an indie game because theoretically they're not being funded. Like this is their own like money. They're not Sega funded, right? Like Sega was the one funding Sonic Mania.
All right.
Yeah. So this is a really cool 3D platformer. I've been wanting to play it since it released in January of last year.
Something like that.
Yeah, January 2024. So I'm just glad I finally got a physical copy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was a little doubtful to get the Switch version. Sorry, the Switch version. But they did update it to let it run 60 frames and do everything else. So we're good. We're good.
Very nice. Very nice.
And yeah.
I do have one other pickup. It's a digital though, so I don't have anything to actually physically show for it. But in celebration, if you will, of something that was announced like on Thursday, I took advantage of an Xbox deal on their store to pick up Ninja Gaiden Black for the original Xbox platform. So I got to try that out for a little bit. It was interesting because I kind of am familiar with like the jank there, but then I wasn't really familiar with the difficulty thing for it. So I was just very meticulous like in this intro like bit, and I was kind of reckless here and there. I died, and when I respawned, I was like, oh, I got you. And it was starting to level over again until I hit the checkpoint.
Yep. We'll talk about it more in a minute.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
yes, that series is absolutely known for brutal difficulty. Now, I wouldn't say. Let me put it this way: it's not that it's hard to. It's not hard to play. It's not a hard game.
Right.
It is a game that challenges you. You literally just have to learn it and get good at it. It's basically a Dark Souls game. Once you get good at it, and I don't like doing that comparison because it's not Dark Souls.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's not that kind of. But in the same like idea of learn the game, it's giving you the tools. Just understand what you can use. You'll get through it just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've
beaten it once in my life.
Once in my life.
It was a long time ago. I also own it digitally on Xbox Series X as well now, because I think I rented it back then or something like that. Oh no, I'm sorry. I've never beaten Ninja Gaiden Black. I have beaten Ninja Gaiden Sigma.
Oh, okay.
I've beaten the Sigma version of the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Gotcha.
but I heard black is better.
Mm. It definitely still holds up. I mean, granted, it is. Well, it's like it's supporting the widescreen, so maybe that's kind of like filtering out like how I feel about it right now.
Hmm.
But yeah, super solid so
Wait,
far.
that game supports widescreen on a Series X. I could. Oh, maybe it does.
At least like once
Nice.
I booted up, I didn't have any like other like issues, or rather, it never just kind of had a defaulted, uh, you know, resolution like that one.
Nice.
So it was just like that.
Yeah, the Series X. Oh, that is one of the boosted games on Series
Oh,
X.
is
You're
it?
right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
Cool. Appreciate that. Considering the fact, I
Mhm.
think that's the only way you can really play that game on that platform.
Uh, on a modern platform in
On modern.
general.
Hmm.
Well, no. You know what? We'll get to that in a minute because there's a lot of the cover in that ground. It's
You know what?
weird.
Fair.
It's the modern Ninja Gaiden games are so weird. Like what versions you're playing, what's different, why you should pick one over the other. It's weird.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, good pickup. I like that. What was it? $5?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. In that case, now we can jump over to some current topics here and there. We got Phantom Blade Zero, right? It's to celebrate the Year of the Snake, so they dropped a gameplay trailer. In short, it looks sick. It's so cool.
It looks good. Yeah. I was like, you didn't have to sell me. I was already sold. I don't know why you had to show me this.
We'll take it. It was featuring a boss battle, featuring like a myriad of puppets, and then they would like summon like the big like dude, and the scores sound amazing already, and then they just kind of went and riffed for a little bit on the second half. I was like, what? What is happening?
As any good action game should, yes.
So yeah, I'm pretty sold on that one too.
It looks super good. I needed to come out already. No date though, still, huh?
I guess not.
Yeah.
I mean, like, hey,
Nope.
that
I
right
hope
now,
it's 2025,
yeah.
but that would be such a banging game this year. But no, I honestly don't predict that game until 2026 at least.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was kind of it though for Phantom Blade Zero. The big majority of what we're probably talking about this time around is going to be covering Microsoft actually / Xbox. So I'll just go ahead and make some of my notes about here about like when we're talking about this. But yes, so
do you want to do it in order, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and I think it's actually best to do it in order too because on Thursday, what was it, 10 a.m. Pacific? We got the Microsoft Developer Direct, which is typically just featuring a couple developers and the respective games that they're covering. Gives you a little bit more insight as far as like what's going on in the background, and you get some surprises here and there, like Hi-Fi Rush is a shadow drop, for example. Well, to kind of start things off, they actually started with the question mark mystery game, and it was actually
I didn't think they were gonna surprise us. Like I didn't think they were gonna do that first. Like I really thought they were gonna hold it off to the end, but then again,
right.
I understand why they didn't. They did that first because I guess the final game really is the game they're gonna push for sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I was wondering if there would be like any type of shadow drop at all, but I was really surprised with them just showing it like this up first. It was it's so funny because I was actually watching Max like stream this, and he was like, "What the hell, Team Ninja?" I was like, "How the hell do you know this is Team Ninja based on a couple waves?" And then when
I know, yeah, because that intro, my brother in Christ, that intro is iconic.
I was gonna say,
it is literally one of the most iconic little like animations for a logo.
Because I booted up Ninja Gaiden Black, and I was like, "Oh, I get it. I get it."
It happens on every one of their modern games. It's so cool. You boot up DOA, that happens. Like it's I see that like that title screen wave, and I'm like, oh, we're in for a treat. Like,
oh, dude. But then when they panned it over to say Platinum Games, I was like, what the yo?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, dude. If you can't tell what we're already talking about, Ninja Gaiden 4.
Just out of nowhere.
The first Ninja Gaiden game in 10 years. I think it's about 10-ish years. Yeah. Just about what, 2025, 2015. Yeah. No, longer than 10 years. Over 10-year wait, because when did Ninja Gaiden 3 come out? Was that 2012, 2011?
I guess we'll find out. I'm going to.
I know Razor's Edge was 2012. It came out on the launch day of the Wii U because it was a Wii U exclusive for a little bit.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden 3. Well, it just says initial release date is 2012, March.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, March. And then later it was Razor's Edge.
Hmm.
Yeah, later Razor's Edge is the better version of that game. Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Heck yeah, yeah. It's been a long time since Ninja Gaiden, man. Longer still since it appeared on an Xbox console. Like that's crazy.
Hmm. It's crazy too because shoot, what was I gonna say about that? Well, I know that we were talking about like availability of the different games, but honestly, like from what I just saw with that like whole reveal and them just passionately talking about like how they've been really appreciative of the fans in the past and how they've been able to keep this all under wraps and just have this partnership with a studio that's kind of in the process of kind of like withering away.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's basically I think they confirmed it in an interview with Phil Spencer like literally like yesterday.
Hmm.
7 years. This has been a 7-year project so far
Oh my god.
that they've initially started talking about. So here's the thing: it's being co-developed together by Team Ninja and Platinum Games.
Mm-hmm.
This is a first-party Xbox game. They are publishing it. This is an actual published Xbox game. So Xbox is funding the development. So I was like, I mean,
I see
damn.
it.
Like, so apparently Phil Spencer approached them 7 years ago.
Whoa.
Before the Series X was even a thing.
Crazy. And I mean, like, it looks super sick. Honestly, like, with just the action of, like, Ninja Gaiden, but also just, like, the fluidity and just, like, the track record for Platinum Games, it's very nice.
Believe it's the Metal Gear Rising team, specifically.
Ooh.
So, I was like, damn. All right, you sold me. Like,
you got me.
You already sold me to begin with. You didn't have to keep doing, like, it's okay. Reel it back. Like...
And then
it's good.
They're also
Platinum's a match made in heaven for that kind of series,
for sure. And I like the fact that they're kind of like adding more to it. So I guess we're talking about like a different like or a piece in timeline a little bit further ahead, a little bit more advanced, or we're following just a different character. But Ryu also like shows up as playable, but otherwise is just kind of serving as like just another like pivotal side character in this one.
Yeah, I wonder if this is still technically before Dead or Alive because the Ninja Gaiden, the modern Ninja Gaiden games are prequels to Ryu Hayabusa in Dead or Alive, which is funny.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's the question. Do you think Dead or Alive will
You know what? You know what? I will only say that I hope because I think at this point, like, and this is why Xbox is got the honor to do all this. Ninja Gaiden, in my eyes, has always been an Xbox game. It's the strong. We talked about this last time. I don't know how I got the prediction right, but I did it. You're welcome for putting that into the ether. But like we talked about, like, yeah, you know what? The rumor was legendary Japanese publisher and their a legendary Japanese franchise being synonymous with Xbox. Well, there's really no other like team. It was Team Ninja. You know, look at the Xbox's main like original Xbox lineup of games. There's Ninja Gaiden, Dead or Alive 1, 2, and 3 are all on there. And Extreme Beach Volleyball, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, like they were a big, and those were all exclusively Xbox games. They were all in on that console. And then 360, same. Ninja Gaiden 2, the original version, was a 360 game. Dead or Alive 4, 360 game. So they were definitely a big like part in the Xbox history. And then, you know, obviously, eventually they started branching out into other consoles. Dead or Alive 5 and 6 are on PS4 and Xbox One. Ninja Gaiden 3 was on everything. I mean, at one point, Nintendo published Razor's Edge. So, yeah, that series is all over the place now. But I still always viewed it as Xbox. So it's really cool to see all this happen together. And just to see, like, it's a first-party Xbox game. So when we talk about Xbox first-party games this year, we have to mention Ninja Gaiden. It's part of the lineup.
Now, having said that, though, it is definitely going multi-platform. This game,
Mhm. Yeah,
it's coming out in fall, so just make some room over there.
yeah. The Xbox Series XS, PC, and PS5.
Hmm. Hopefully, Switch too. We'll find out. We'll find out.
I don't see why that wouldn't be a Switch 2 game, especially because Switch already has Sigma 1, 2, and Razor's Edge.
It's- oh yeah, true, true.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah, I was gonna say that's not all though
but
on their behalf. So they were in the woodworks, remastering an existing title, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and they shadow dropped it for Game Pass and everything else. It's like, well, except for Switch, but like everything else.
yeah, it's so crazy. It's so crazy that Ninja Gaiden 2 Black exists. So this is where I'm going to start bringing the conversation about versions and what's the differences and why.
Okay, okay.
Because I think the big deal here is that they're calling it Ninja Gaiden 2 Black.
Aye.
First of all, what is it? It's a remake of the original Ninja Gaiden 2 on 360. Specifically, a remake of that. So the reason why that's important is
Hmm.
because the Sigma series. Sigma is
Sigma.
just another version of Ninja Gaiden. So like I'll use Ninja Gaiden 1 as an example.
Okay.
There are 3 versions of this game. There's Ninja Gaiden, the original,
Mm-hmm.
Ninja Gaiden Black, which
Mm-hmm.
is an enhanced version of the game,
Okay.
and then there is Ninja Gaiden Sigma, which is a more, I wouldn't say enhanced, I would say more of a rebalance slash like tooling of the game. Like it's definitely like they made it easier. I believe the idea was because the PS3, it was specifically a PS3 version of Ninja Gaiden 1,
Yeah, I remember that.
and it couldn't handle all of the things that it like they were trying to do in HD.
Hmm.
Like they didn't know how to develop for PS3 yet, and so basically the enemy counts lowered. There's not as much blood and gore, which
Oh
is
wow.
actually kind of weird considering Ninja Gaiden. One of the stylistic choices is how much blood and gore they can get away with.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's very like I don't want to say dumbed down because it's still a good game. It's still fun to play. That's how I experienced it. Um, and like it's still fun, but that's also the version they keep choosing to re-release because it's in HD. So
Okay.
yeah, and then there was Ninja Gaiden 2 on 360. Then there's Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma. Again, same problem. Very toned down in violence compared to Ninja Gaiden 2. But then there's also like the idea that there's less enemies on screen, so it's a little easier, quote unquote.
Hmm.
So this Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is basically like this is the definitive way to play it. There's all the because here's the problem with Sigma. We're calling it a little dumbed down version, but those versions also had modes and stuff that you could not do in the other games. So it's like there's extra characters in there and there's extra things that you can do that you couldn't play in the original versions.
Mm-hmm.
This series is all over the place. Just know that Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is the best version of the game. It's the original game with all its blood and gore and all its violence and all the enemy counts and whatnot, plus all the extra characters you could play as in Sigma too.
Very nice.
Incredible. Incredible. And it's all on Unreal Engine 5.
So
It's
it looks
shadow
pretty.
dropped.
Yeah.
It's also published by Xbox. Their name is on that as an Xbox studio.
Hooey.
So yeah, what a lineup, dude.
But riddle me
And
this,
what,
Phil. As Xbox Publishing, why is the only physical version of that game on the PlayStation 5 through PlayAsia?
so I believe I'm just gonna go off of what I know about Koei Tecmo and their game so far.
Hmm.
They just understand that people import anyways.
God.
So they
Oh no, they
so
found us.
yeah, like they people just import them anyways because look at their other releases. What is it? The Ninja Gaiden trilogy. The re-release that was on
Yeah.
modern things was import only. Granted, the box is in English. It's the Asian version. It's not specifically a Japanese version. It's the Asian version that has the box in English. Everything's in English. You just have to pop it in your Switch or the PS4 disc, and it works.
Okay,
Now
okay.
in Asian territories, they don't really have Xboxes. Therefore,
Okay.
They don't make a lot of Xbox physical copies.
Uh-oh.
So now, does that mean Ninja Gaiden 4 isn't getting a physical copy? No, I think that one is going to get one. I do think that one's going to be a normal retail market game.
Hmm.
But I think with Black 2 or 2 Black, maybe it won't get an Xbox copy, unfortunately. I don't know. I guess it depends on Xbox and Microsoft how they want to play it. Because
Huh.
I think that's a Koei Tecmo choice. Because Koei Tecmo is just going to let it happen like an Asian release. Hey, it's in English. You can import it. Who cares? Like, because that's what they've done this with all their series. Like, look at the Atelier trilogies.
True. True.
Look at Fatal Frame, the remasters for Fatal Frame 4 and 5.
Gotcha.
So they're like, you'll import it. Don't worry about it. And they usually don't go out of stock. They're pretty in high demand. Like they're some of the most imported games, so it makes sense.
Guess so. I don't know, sure if there's any way to like talk to folks to like have it over here as well, just for easy or accessibility. But
But it's also, we're in this era, like I said before. PlayStation and Switch players are normally the ones who collect physical copies the most.
yeah,
Xbox is more like you're getting it for Game Pass.
I get you. I
And with
get you.
Game Pass, it's digital. So it seems like Xbox players are more embracing of the digital only future,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I get it because of just like how Game Pass works.
So
Hmm.
it makes sense that PS5 is the only one getting the physical copy.
Hmm.
I wish it wasn't, because this is the one time where I would say no, I want this on Xbox. But if it ends up being like that, then I guess, twist my arm, I'll get it on PlayStation. Like,
But would you do that, Phil, for this one?
mm,
Because I think I will probably just hold on that one, whether
I
it's
think
going
I'm
to show
gonna
up
hold.
later or maybe just
Yeah,
not.
I'm gonna hold only because I have Game Pass, and so there's no reason for me to go out of my way to get a physical copy yet.
Mm.
You know. But if in the future, for some reason, I've stopped paying for Game Pass or whatever, I'm telling you right now, this year that ain't happening.
I understand.
Yeah. Maybe I'm trying to hold out to see if they'll do a North American Xbox only one. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
maybe that's why it's PS5 and the other in Asia only, because maybe in America it's an Xbox physical copy only.
Mm.
But that's wishful thinking. I doubt it.
You know, I was really debating whether or not if I wanted to keep Game Pass on, considering, you know, what Microsoft's been doing. I think I'll opt out this time around, mainly because I'm going through like a phase right now of just like really holding in a lot of my funds so I can like reinvest those like later on,
Mhm.
hopefully like build that up later on. So in 15 years, that'll be completely different. But for now, I think I'll just kind of hold off and just see like what can I do without Game Pass like on that front. So we'll just see.
Mhm.
All the more power to everybody who chooses Game Pass, especially considering it will be a great deal this year. This year, ooh,
This year is the year I finally am thankful I have it, because man, we'll get into it. But yeah, it's Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Ah, man, that's going to be a hard one to
Ninja
call.
Gaiden 2
Ninja Gaiden
Black.
2 Black is like a big deal. Like, I'm thankful that it's out. I'm thankful that it's here right now, and it is a Game Pass game, so anybody on Game Pass can play it.
Mhm.
It's shadow dropped on everything. It's on PS5, PC, so wherever you can
Just wherever.
play it. Yep, it's super good. But
Very nice. That was just the
that was the
first
first
one.
two games.
That was
Yeah.
just the first one. I was so locked in after that reveal. I was like, yo, I don't
And
even like mess with Ninja Gaiden like that, but I'm down.
you know what? I think the whole rest of this developer direct, they kept us locked in, because
Mm.
what was the next game? South of
South
Midnight?
of Midnight.
My God. That's the most Anaya game I've ever seen in my life. He's gonna love that game.
Hmm.
And I also think it looks incredible.
Yeah,
Like, the art style,
art style's
the
great.
vibes. Oh my God.
You can even say the animation as well.
Yeah.
It's super interesting. Like the gameplay is also like character action adventure, if you will. But it almost kind of has like a platformer vibe to it in the combat, if that makes sense. Like you're like comparing it to Ratchet and Clank, where it's like it's a lot of like a quote unquote floatiness with the character, but it's also like it feels meaningful, like just given like how all the enemies are designed. It has a setup where it's like a closed off field where you fight all the enemies until they're done, and then you're open to more exploration stuff. And they definitely like uh dived into how they have designed like the background, the monsters themselves. Those look really sick too. The abilities and how it's all like woven into like the folklore. And I was like, I'm down for that. Looks really sick. And then
Hmm.
did we have a
I
release
will
date on that
say
one?
yes, April 8th.
Whoa, dude.
That game will be out
Oh my
April 8th,
god.
which is really close. That's actually really good. I will say, it is a little unfortunate that that game had to go up after Ninja Gaiden in terms of combat stuff.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Where like it's just super snappy with Ninja Gaiden, so fast. And this South of Midnight just has its own pace.
Yeah, but I think South of Midnight's going to be good in its own right. Like it looks
Mhm.
super good. Um, I think finally, so this is being done by what? Compulsion Games? Yeah.
Yeah.
Compulsion has always been a studio that like has really good ideas, but never has the budget to execute them properly. Like their previous two games, Contrast and We Happy Few,
Mm.
very good ideas in both of them. I have played both. Contrast I like a little more than We Happy Few, which is funny enough. I think Contrast has like this really cool mechanic where it's like platforming, but you're shadows, you go in and out and stuff. It
Mhm.
looks great. Um, but it's a little rough around the edges. Like it's a little janky. Like you can tell by playing it. Like, it is an indie game, right? Because they were an indie studio at some point.
Mm.
And then We Happy Few was a Kickstarter game. They got the crowdfunding for it, and they were able to make what I wasn't expecting. Like it's a stealth game of some sort.
Mm.
An interesting stealth slash sim game. It's interesting, but again, a little janky in some areas. Definitely could have used a little more polish, but them having the actual budget, like Xbox Game Studio budget,
Mm.
means that they're finally going to realize the game's vision, and it looks great. I think this is going to be the first time they're going to do a big AAA game.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. It looks great. April 8th. I believe it's Xbox Series X, S, and PC. This is not coming to everything else yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. This is the one that is still stuck on Xbox.
Gotcha,
We'll
gotcha.
see. We'll see. I'm playing it on Xbox. I'm playing all these that we're talking about today on Xbox, but yeah, it looks really good. I can't wait. I think it's a $40 game too. If you're
Yeah,
not,
yeah. A lot of these
yeah.
games are actually like on the cheaper side. I was like,
Mhm.
whoa.
Ninja Gaiden Black or 2 Black is 50, and then
Yeah.
South of Midnight's going to be 40 if you don't have Game Pass.
Huh. I didn't know there was a $40 game in this lineup. I thought it was all kind of like 50-ish.
No, this one's
Mm.
40.
Very nice then.
Yep. And then the next one
Next
is
one.
not an Xbox studio. This is the third party studio. Like,
Hmm.
well, I guess Team Ninja's not an Xbox studio either, but they're publishing the game they're developing. Therefore, makes sense why they were there.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is not. Sandfall Interactive, right?
Sandfall? Yeah.
Yeah. Sandfall is not a they're an indie studio. Theoretically, this is an indie game.
Dude. Bro. Penny's big breakaway. What do you mean?
So it's like Claire Obscure's Expedition 33. Game looks really good.
It looks good.
Like,
It looks good.
it looks super good. As someone who likes turn-based RPGs, the fact that it's Paper Mario in nature
Mm.
looks so good.
I just love how
I
they designed the world.
Oh yeah, I love the designs for characters. They all look cool. Like they love the creatures,
Mm-hmm.
the lore they're building in the world building that they're doing there.
Mm-hmm.
The world map looks crazy
It
expansive.
does. I like that a lot.
I
Carm-
thought it was going to be just the human characters you get as party members, but no, there's other things too. Like
mm-hmm.
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. There's not really much else I could really say because I think I'd start to like freak out when they start showing more and more of like just the UI stuff, like the upgrade stuff, because it looks like it's going to be really expansive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's otherwise going to be a kind of a shortish game from what I remember, but it could definitely just be expanded upon with doing extra stuff.
Yeah. So it's basically they've already told people and promised that it's about a 30 hour to
30
40
hour?
game. You know, like
Yeah.
they're not trying to waste your time. They want to just make it RPG that's fun to play through and blast through.
Mm,
Um, and even the retail price is only $50.
that's very nice.
So, and this one is getting a physical copy in America. You can pre-order on Xbox Series X or PS5. So, definitely look into it. I'm gonna play it on Game Pass because I have it. I might as well use it. You know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
and the release date is April 24th or 28th.
Ooh. It's somewhere near the end of April. So it's like
So,
kind of close there.
yeah, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's double check.
There it is.
Obscure Expedition 33 is coming out.
It releases April 24th. That was correct. Yep. April 24th. So you have South of Midnight, April 8th, and then Claire Obscure's Expedition 33
April.
on April 24th. That April is crazy.
So I mean, if you don't get access to Switch 2, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you have nothing else to do.
Yup. That's a banging month already, dude. And then they ended it with the big boy. And I knew I should have known that this was gonna be the big boy ending because Xbox is gonna push this game hard.
They got
as they should.
As they should.
It's a flagship franchise at this point. And that is for what is going to be one of my most hypest games this year, Doom: The Dark Ages.
Doom.
We're so back, dude. we're so back. I was not skeptical. Give me one moment.
Okay, gotcha. As you guys can see, or you know, if you're listening, we have a fam cam going on at all times. So it's just nice to see Phil and the family just chilling out, being, you know, a family. But otherwise, if you're listening to this, he's still right there.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's Doom. Like, I don't think I was never the person that was like medieval Doom. I don't like the idea. No, I just like Doom. Like, just give me more Doom. I don't care. Like, I want to play more of this. And I love how metal and how badass everything is in this game.
Yo, you can give him like caveman Doom, and I'd be down
I would be so, yo, Doom Primal.
Whoa, wait.
Hello, Id. Yeah, it's Phil. I got a great new idea for you. No, not Phil Spencer. No, not Phil Spencer. Try again. Oh my god, yo, yeah, they took us through id Software. They talked about a lot of Doom: The Dark Ages, and my god, it looks so good. The weapon designs that they were doing and talking about, like the skull that's just basically shredding into bullets is crazy.
My god, it's so hardcore.
And it's just spread shot too. So
spread shot too. So like you're walking through a hallway with like these little imps, and then they're just like
yep, like, and they're all just mowing down demons, bro. It's so cool. I also think they took a lot of criticism from Eternal and to heart, considering all of those like melee options and stuff like that. They're mapping it to a single button, right? That's not what they said.
I think so. Yeah. It was gonna be very simple. It was just gonna be like a 3-button type of sequence of just like you like shooting and then walking up and then just finishing them off.
Yeah. And then it's also the shield is also mapped to a single button. The butt shield. I was like, or the shield saw. That's what they're calling it. Hell yeah! And you get to throw it. You get to use it for parries. It looks really cool.
It'll help with traversal or breaking like faraway objects.
And then I also noticed it in the gameplay. But I'm gonna quote I'm gonna quote Hugo Martin, the director of the game,
Okay.
in which he says, "In Doom 2016, we asked you to run and gun. That's true.
Very
The
true.
game is a
Very
lot
true.
of running and gunning in an arena and just making sure you're just staying alive. In Doom Eternal, we asked you to jump and shoot." Because basically
A
it's the
lot of
same concept as
elevation.
2016, but yeah, it's vertically. A lot of
Yeah.
the arenas that you fight in is vertical. And he said in Doom the Dark Ages, we're gonna ask you to stand and fight. A lot of like being on
Whoa.
the ground and moving a little slower, but still fast at a decent
Yeah.
pace.
Yeah.
But like making sure those combat like sections are more intense, making
Mm.
sure that you're actually like dodging and weaving and actually like hitting with the shield
It's
and hitting him with the like the mace and just going in like
it's not quite Souls like, but it is confrontational like a Souls like.
yeah. And then it's basically, and then they also said that they're doing a little more like classic Doom, where you can see bullets, you can see the bullets coming at you, you can dodge them. It doesn't
Ooh.
necessarily, it's not necessarily like
Mm.
where like you have the soldiers in like Doom and Doom Eternal where they can just shoot you and you're like, oh well, I'm getting shot at.
Well, yeah,
No,
yeah. Well, mm.
yeah, and here it's more like you see, it's kind of like a Returnal in that sense, where you can see the bullets coming at everywhere and you're just dodging as they come to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick. That's sick. It's literally classic 1993 Doom.
Yeah.
I love it.
But I guess the difference here is that you can block that. You can sometimes parry some depending on what they are, and it really is just kind of different from just simply running and gunning. So it's
Yeah,
just straight on.
they confirmed who's doing the music. Who was it again?
I forget, and that was gonna be my next thing I wanted to talk about. But it isn't
because
Mick.
because there's nothing to talk about. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's just really good. Like they found like the core track for like Doom, and they're able to just stick with it.
Well, because it's not going to be the same composer since they've had a lot of issues with them.
Right.
Yeah. The soundtrack has been revealed to be Finishing Move
Finish.
is the
Oh, huh.
the music production team behind the award nominated Borderlands 3 and Halo Wars 2 original scores.
Oh, whoa! What the hell? Did they have any hand with the DLC for Doom Eternal? I guess when that was different.
No, that's Andrew Sherholt or
Oh,
Holshort.
okay.
Andrew Holshort? Yeah, Andrew Holshort. He's the composer for Quake Champions, which is
Ooh.
which is the online multiplayer game. And then he's also the composer for like some of the indie shooters like Dusk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he composed the Dark Ages, the Ancient Ones, the DLC.
Mm.
No, the original composer is what's his name? He was the dude who did Killer Instinct as well, the recent one.
Is that not Mick?
Yeah, Mick.
Okay.
I just forgot his full name. It's
Oh,
Mick
okay. Gordon.
Mick Gordon, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of like licensing issues between them and some legal
Yeah.
issues.
Okay.
So he stepped out of doing the Ancient Ones. So they ended up getting Andrew Holshert to come in, fix it up. So this is going to be a new composer. But I think when I heard the guns going off to the beat of the song, I think I was in good hands.
I think I felt safe.
Like literally, he's just shredding to the just, and I'm like, okay, we're good. This game looks so damn good, dude. Have you seen the cover art, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god.
I'm like, yeah. Oh, that's so sick.
Doom the Dark Ages looks incredible. No wonder they left that for the end, bro. That really was the star of the show.
Mhm.
That game looks so good.
I love
One of my
oh, sorry?
I was gonna say literally like top 3, one of my hypest games this year.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say that obviously I'm going to love the gameplay loop of just playing as Doom, but they also had previewed obviously like your little mech dragon rider, also like the giant suit.
Yup.
I was like, yo, you don't feel that slow with it either.
It's so cool, dude.
Ooh,
I can't
dude.
wait. I can't wait. And it's also a prequel. So if you've never played any of the game, like the modern games, don't worry. Just play this first.
You'll be fine. For
Yeah,
sure.
and they're all different to each other anyway, so that it's not like you're like relearning things. Like you're fine. Like they're great. But also they're all on Game Pass, so you know.
Also at the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
You can just hop in whenever.
I am excited, and we have a release date. We have a release date. May 14th, baby.
Dude.
18th, 14th.
Yeah, something like that.
It's May.
It's in May.
It's in May, bro.
That's so clustered at that point.
Every single one of the games, you know, other than
May
Ninja
15th.
Gaiden 4, are like 2 to 3 weeks apart from each other.
That's
crazy. That's so May 15th. Yup. It'll be available on Xbox Series XS, PC, and PS5.
God, what do they have in the second half? What are they doing?
Fable.
Hopefully.
Fable. Well, Fable's 2025.
But I guess it has to by just the process of elimination.
Yeah, it's Fable and Ninja Gaiden 4. There you go. There's your two fall games. Like
fair. Oh, Ninja Gaiden. Ooh. But
so listen to this, Justin. All right, listen to this. I'm afraid to say this because we say this every year, and somehow we always get screwed. So listen to what I got. Listen to this lineup of first-party Xbox games this year in 2025. Assuming nothing gets delayed, assuming everything actually comes out in 2025.
Okay.
In order: Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, Avowed, South of Midnight, Doom: The Dark Ages, The Outer Worlds 2.
Not sure that.
Fable, Ninja Gaiden 4.
It's pretty stacked, actually.
Are we back?
Are we officially back?
Are we back? Well, okay. In the playing on Xbox like fan base, are we? Because obviously most of these games are on every other console too.
Sure, yeah.
This is the first party lineup. Oh, and a new Call of Duty because it always has to happen. Are we back?
I want to say yeah.
Finally say it like
it's back it could be back as far as just like Xbox like be first party like games and whatnot. Sure.
I think we're back, dude. I think so. You know, as long as Fable, I think Fable's really the only one that scares me. Like Fable's the one that will it launch this year? We'll find out.
We'll see.
I'm confident in everything else. Because they said Outer Worlds 2 is 2025, but also they announced it in December of last year. I think they wouldn't have announced it that early. I think that's going to be a big one. Because if that's the case, then 2026 can hold on to like what's the other first party games we know? Perfect Dark, Gears of War E-Day.
Yeah, and we're waiting for that.
Clockwork Revolution.
Oh man, that was a while. Yeah.
So those three alone can wait till 2026. I think right now in 2025, this lineup is stacked. We're eating good this year.
Just games in general, but here's the hoping that this is like the mark of like a shift in like I guess how people like perceive like Xbox like game studio.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. You know, I will say that it is a little less impactful because it's not exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah,
but I get the strategy. I understand what they're doing. You know, It doesn't matter where you play it; they're gonna make money no matter what. So
it's true. It's one of those things where it's like you may no longer like identify it as like Xbox as in the box, even though they would still want to support the hardware for that. But it definitely is just like the software that it's part of.
So I'm excited though. The way I play my games is, you know, if it's first party, I'll play it on Xbox. Like it's just how it is. So I am looking forward to be actually using my Series X a lot this year. Which, speaking of which, I gotta download Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. But it's also 80 gigs, and I'm not ready.
It's a lot.
I'm not Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's right. Ooh. That's
anyways.
You know what doesn't take a lot of file space? An NSO app.
Yeah, boy.
So
we got 3 games on the docket that dropped, randomly dropped. They're only for Super Nintendo. There was only a Super Nintendo update. And there's some interesting choices in here, for better or for worse. It was Fatal Fury 2,
Okay.
which is like, okay, sure. Super Ninja Boys.
Super Ninja Boys. Suddenly, ninjas.
Yeah. And then I don't know how to pronounce the last game's name. It's the import, but I actually did my research, Justin. That import's actually really cool. Let me find the name of it real quick before I talk about it. But
it's I mean, I can only pronounce it as like Sude Hakun.
Yeah, Sude Hakun. There you go. Thank you. Right here. Sude Hakun. Sude Hakun. Well, we'll do the other two games first.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
Fatal Fury 2. Most people, most retro gamers will know it as a Neo Geo game because that's basically what it is. It's a Neo Geo game. But if you didn't know, it's popular. So Fatal Fury 2 ended up getting ports to a lot of platforms. There's a Sega Genesis version. There's a Super Nintendo version. I think there's a Sega CD version. As far as I remember. But yes, this is just the Super Nintendo version of Fatal Fury 2. And it plays well. I never actually played the Super version. I've always stuck to just the arcade Neo Geo version, you know? And it's good. I don't see a problem. Like, that's actually a pretty fun game to have on there, especially because it's cool that we're not getting. I wish we got Street Fighter 2 on the NSO app for Super Nintendo, but it's cool that the fighting games that we're getting are like not the ones you would normally traditionally get. Like it's like Fatal Fury 2, Fighter's History, and Killer Instinct. Like, that's really cool. And it's a good NSO game to have, online multiplayer with your friends. That's fun.
That's true.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So that's a really fun one. I like that. That game's really cool.
It's a good timing too.
Oh yeah, especially because Fatal Fury City of the Wolves is coming out in April. So oh my god, it's an April game.
Also,
I'm not gonna have time for
Mai's been just making the rounds just because of her Street Fighter appearance.
Oh my god. Yo, they did it. The Gooners win
Oh
again.
no, I was trying to dance around that.
You can't dance around the Gooners. How dare you? Those Gooners are gooning it up right now as we speak.
Don't talk to me like I'm Mark. I'm a civilized person.
I love the video of like Piccolo freaking out like a dog. Like there's someone's holding back and he's like, arr. And everyone's doing that to videos of mine. Is crazy. Especially because like her idle animation and the character select, everyone went crazy.
Oh no, everyone's going crazy for that.
Everyone went crazy. Like, brother, I have a meme picture every time someone like does this. And it's like the cops from SpongeBob. It's the two fishes. They're like this. And it's just, calm down, son. It's just a drawing.
Oh, God.
But yes, Mai is literally one of the most important fighting game characters in history. So I get it.
I gotcha.
They did her justice. They did good. It's good. They did Terry pretty good too. So I'm very excited for this though. Yes. Fatal Fury 2, good game on the Super Nintendo. Pretty good pick. Not something I would have picked, but also this means Samurai Showdown can show up because that has a super port. That'd be kind of tight. That'd be pretty sick. I'd be cool with that. I think Art of Fighting does, but I don't know if I want the super version of that. I'll be real with you. But then the next game is Super Ninja Boys. I have never heard of this game.
Boys.
I've never heard of this game. And I'm pretty well versed in like a lot of retro games. I've never heard of this game. So I played it. That's actually the first one I jumped into because I was like, you know what? What is this? Because here's the thing. I put the two together.
Okay.
It's a game developed by Culture Brain, which already makes games that are like not the highest quality, but also like they're fun. Like they're janky, but they're fun. Okay. The NES game has a is it Kung Fu Heroes? Is what it's called.
Hmm.
It's on the NSO app
I
as
was gonna
well.
say NSO.
It's on NSO.
Okay.
Yes, it's it looks like the same characters, so it could be in the same series. But obviously, English translations back in the day, they like to just do whatever
Make
they
it
want.
something new.
Yeah. Justin, do me a favor one day. Just start up the game. Just start it up, and just start narrating yourself the intro, like because the text that shows up and stuff. Just start saying it out loud, and then just laugh, and then just begin to like how the game is written.
Oh God, is it one of those cases that similar on the NSO? Your bases are ours, or something like that.
Oh, now your base are belong to us. No, it's not at that kind of level. It's not on that level, but it's definitely interesting.
Okay,
they're saving a land called China Land.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And apparently just so comparison's sakes, I downloaded them on Super Famicom app as well, because I have the Famicom apps as well. And I think it translates to Ninja Boys in China Land. So take that as you will.
Well, for what's worth, I'm glad they decided to drop it this week. Or like last week. Well, actually technically this week because Saturday. And not next week. Happy Chinese New Year, everybody.
Oh no. Oh no.
You want to find a good opportunity to drop it. Just not on the day. Not during the event.
So we're just
last week. Gotcha.
So I didn't read the description going into this game, and I found out very early on what kind of game it is. And you know what? I will say it's one of those rare Super Nintendo games that runs at 30 frames. But there are some, and some don't bother me. But this one's like, oh, okay, it does feel kind of rough. It turns out, stick with me here. This is a action RPG.
How action is this RPG?
It has a normal RPG system where you're on a world map, you're traveling, random encounter, and you go into battle, and when you're in battle, it becomes a beat 'em up.
Oh, what the?
And in the beat 'em up is when you're actually fighting the enemies as an action game. But there's experience points, there's abilities to be learned, there are shops that you go to, inns. Like, I was like, what am I playing? Like, what is this game?
Oh, that's interesting, actually.
So it's and I looked it up. It's got a cult following. Of course it does. So this is one of those like interesting games that people consider a hidden gem. So
okay.
Cool. I think I might have to actually charge my SNES controller and then just really sit with it and see how I feel with it.
Gotcha.
Is it an expensive game? Is it a rare game?
I want to assume yes. Rare and expensive.
I want to assume yes too. I got it in front of me. Let's see. Super Ninja. Oh, wow. Super Ninja Boys SNES.
Let's say 200.
You would be absolutely wrong. It's averaging like $30.
So I should buy the physical. Got it.
Yeah, Super Ninja Boy. Sorry, just one.
Oh,
one
boy. Okay, got it.
Yeah, Super Ninja Boy. But no, it's an interesting choice. I probably wouldn't have picked it myself. There's a lot of other Super Nintendo games that exist.
Sure.
But interesting nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the most interesting one, in my opinion. Sute Hakun.
Hakun.
This is a Nintendo first party game.
Interesting.
And I only knew about that because that character is in Smash Ultimate. That little dude.
Really?
He's one of the spirits.
Okay.
Yeah. And so here's the interesting thing about the game, Justin. That box art they created there, that's new.
That's what? Like,
that's
how
a new box art? Oh, God. Like they made it for NSO.
What
because The game is a Satellaview download only game for the Super Famicom.
Huh.
So that might have been the promotional box art, but that is not something they actually used because they never released it physically. It is a Satellaview download only game. So in Japan, they had the Satellaview, which is a service that you could go to like shops and stuff or in your own house and download a game to a cartridge.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this is how you got stuff like you know how they added those new F-Zero tracks to F-Zero 99?
Oh,
those
yeah.
were based on the BS Satellaview version of F-Zero. So stuff like that. So the Satellaview was a very interesting little thing that happened in Japan. They're testing it. And you know, you were able to download these exclusive games that were only online. There's like that remake of Zelda 1 where you literally someone was narrating it to you.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like in real time, someone was narrating the game. Like
oh,
or there's like that was the only way to get the Super Nintendo or Super Famicom remakes of the Famicom Detective Club games. So those are real things. Like this is a real like thing, and Sute Hakun was one of those games. And it's not like it's not like the grandest game in the world. It's literally a puzzle platformer.
I was gonna say,
Basically,
yeah, it does look
it's Nintendo. If this was like their Pushmo back in the day, it's basically just
okay.
in that. Think of it in that like kind of like category. You're literally a little dude. You walk to a block. You only have two buttons: jump and action. The action button lets you suck the block and turns you into the block, so you can like walk around and leave it where you need to leave it. And then there's colors involved. 3 colors: red, blue, yellow. Red lets if you inject the because he's like a little needle nose, so he can suck the color into him and then inject it back in. The red, if you put it into a block, makes the block move horizontally. Blue, I'm sorry, red is vertical, blue is horizontal, yellow is diagonal. And so with that, that's all you need is basically collect the diamonds, you finish the level.
Okay.
It's very much a budget game, but you know what? It's got that Nintendo charm, that retro Nintendo stuff, where it's really fun. It's addictive. It's hard. I'm still getting through the first world, but it's fun. It is an import. You got to navigate menus in Japanese, but I understand why they released it to us because it doesn't require. It literally does not require English. It's really cool that this is being released. Because now they're telling me Satellaview games are on the market. They're on the docket. Like, I absolutely love it. It's really cool. This is the big hidden gem of the release and the big one for me. Like, I really think this is fun. It's Nintendo history that I never got to experience. I only knew of the character. I never even knew the game like itself. So playing another first party Nintendo game is really cool.
Gotcha. Also, the fact that they're still like supporting it, just like the NSO in general.
I mean, NSO like the basic tier. You mean right? Like the
yeah,
like NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy. Because Game Boy, obviously, they can keep supporting. That's new. But I don't see why they wouldn't. You know, like there's still I think we've talked about this before. There's still a lot of first party stuff. Maybe not on Super. You know, I think they shot most of the first party stuff that they could do in North America, except for one game. And I don't think we're getting it anytime soon because it's Mario RPG. So, you know,
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, but you know, NES, you know, Star Tropics 2 still exists. Where the hell is that at? They still have a bunch of Japanese Famicom games they can release that are not English, that are all English friendly, like, you know. So there's a good amount of cool stuff that they could still do, in my opinion. They could release those F-Zero tracks like that. That'd be super sick. I would be super down for that. What else? You know, like, and then third party stuff, right? They just showed us SNK is willing to play a game. So give me Samurai Showdown, you know. Art of Fighting's not that good on Super, but screw it, throw me it anyways. obviously, we had Demon's Crest on Super Nintendo. So why not throw me
Oh,
Gargoyle's Quest 2 on NES? Like, you know what I mean? Gargoyle's Quest is on Game Boy. There, it's on the Game Boy app. So complete the trilogy. Just give me the second game.
isn't there a Doom
That'd
one as well?
be Doom on Super is a thing, but like, it's not a good port.
Right. So I've heard.
Yeah, but also if they throw Doom in, it would have to be like it'd have to do the rated M like app,
Oh, yeah.
and I think they're only willing to do that for N64 because N64 was really where like mature games started to really be like, oh,
Actual like I
that's
see
why
it.
it's a mature rated game, and also some of the best N64 games are rated M games,
Yeah, fair enough.
so
Think,
that makes sense to me.
you think they'll do that for like other like titles that would be rated M for later consoles they want to like add to the list?
GameCube,
Pretty much.
GameCube, because Nintendo has two first party rated M games on there.
Hmm.
It's Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem,
Okay.
and Geist.
Hmm. Okay.
Oh well, I mean Nintendo did publish Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes, but I doubt that's I doubt that they're gonna get Kojima to like get on that, or a Konami in general. But yeah, like they could. I think they wouldn't be missing much if they didn't do one for like DS. You know, like there really isn't that many. I think
Not
there's like
many.
11 rated M games on DS. I think,
Hmm.
and only like 3 of them are good. No, maybe like half of them are good.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's really not necessary for like a lot of the older consoles. It's really N64 and GameCube would be like the ones that need it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because there's a lot of good stuff on there. But no, I think it's cool that they're still supporting the base tier stuff, especially because Game Boy got such a big push last month with like the 3 Donkey Kong Land games
True
and
that.
Tetris DX,
Oh yeah.
and NES got Tetris. So like I
Yeah, they're
think Super
definitely still
Nintendo needed
supporting it.
some. Yep.
I wonder how long they'll be. Well, I mean, obviously they'll try to trickle it down even like beyond Switch 2. That
Oh
might take a
yeah.
while. That might take a
Oh yeah.
good while.
Which is
But
fine. I mean, like N64, if we're talking expansion pack stuff too, N64 is missing so much games, dude.
hmm,
I mean, like, where the hell is Super Smash Brothers? Like, what are we doing here?
where and now that we have Donkey Kong out, where's
Donkey Kong
64?
64, Diddy Kong Racing,
That you?
um, and they have the rated M app. Conker's Bad Fur Day is free game, bro. Like,
Sure that.
yep. So they can do a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff on
unless
N64.
Xbox is willing to like just give us like that collection, right?
Well, Rare Replay, right?
Yeah.
I believe in my heart that NSO is how we're getting Rare Replay. You know what I mean? Like they're putting them. Most of the games
Most
that
of
are
them
on Rare
already.
Replay are
Yeah.
now on NSO, and more games that are not on Rare Replay are on NSO.
Hmm.
Like the Super Nintendo Battletoads, that's not on Rare Replay. That's
Hmm.
really cool that it's there. Super Nintendo version of Killer Instinct, that's also not on NSO, or
Hmm.
that's also not on Rare Replay. But I also forgot about Killer Instinct Gold. That could be a 64 release.
Ooh, yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be a big one too. So, there's a good amount of like games for sure.
Hmm.
I think it would be really hard to play Killer Instinct Gold on a controller that's not N64 though. So there's that.
I got you. Mega Man Legends.
You mean Mega Man 64?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Mega Man 64.
That could be a one. That could be an interesting one. Capcom has done some games. I just don't think Capcom's weird. When it comes to Capcom and Konami, it's basically you're only getting the Mega Man and Castlevanias that aren't already on collections. Like Castlevania Legends for Game Boy. That's not on any other collection, so they just threw it on
Hmm.
NSO. The Game Boy Mega Man games. They're not on anything. Just throw them on there.
Yeah.
Um the Gargoyle's Quest trilogy stuff. So Gargoyle's Quest Game Boy,
Hmm.
Demon's Crest on Super Nintendo. Those just aren't on anything, so throw them. What's the other Capcom brand? Oh, Breath of Fire 1 and 2. Those are
Oh.
on Super. Screw it. Like like they just really like it's whatever they're not planning to do big re-releases on. Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yeah.
Those are all on there. And Konami as well, like it's not if it's not Castlevania or Contra, it's like Twinbee and Gradius and and some of the other Konami franchises. So yeah, third parties are willing to play game. It just depends on the game. Like if they know they can sell it, why would they put it for free? Basically,
Yeah, I always tell myself that when it comes to Pokemon. But I guess we'll wait until like next month.
Pokemon's a tough one for me to kind
Well,
of
the
gauge.
mainline games, they'll totally play ball with side games.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of side games on NSO, like Game Boy and N64 share a majority of them, and Game Boy Advance has Mystery Dungeon. So it's like,
yeah, we're just missing the pinball series, really. A couple other things,
so
sir.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool. Pinball on Game Boy Color, and then Pinball Ruby and Sapphire on Game Boy Advance. Come on, dude. Come on, Nintendo. What are we doing?
They were I don't know what they were cooking back then, but they can keep doing that.
Yeah. Oh, Pokemon Puzzle Challenge for the Game Boy Color. Come on.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's just more Panel de Pon. I want more Panel de Pon.
What I'm saying is,
what I'm actually trying to tell you is, give me Panel de Pon. And if they have mic support, N64 can get Hey You Pikachu.
Oh my god! I think they could. They just have to put out an accessory. That's all they gotta do.
Just put in a USB mic.
USB mic, like that's easy to like sell.
USB mic or like headphones with mic support already, because Fortnite supports it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then if Switch 2 has the mouse, Super Nintendo, Mario Paint, come on.
Oh, you know, you're right. I just been so distracted with the potential sweats that people would have.
Yeah. Mario Paint would be a good one if the Switch 2 allows for the mouse support. What's the other one? The Japanese and European only Mario and Wario.
Huh. Okay.
It's basically a puzzle. It's basically Lemmings. It's basically Mario's March of the Minis before March of the Minis, where it's basically you have to guide Mario, who's like cursed by Wario, and it's a Game Freak game. So there's that.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's a Game Freak game, and it's basically you're taking the little fairy Wanda, and she's the cursor, and you're building blocks with the mouse.
Oh, okay.
So that'd be a cool one.
All right.
If they can somehow get light gun support stuff, like Duck Hunt would be fun. So like Nintendo has options. Yeah. And Nintendo definitely has options, especially because they've already proved that they're willing to try and get as many control schemes and options on there. Kirby's Tilt and Tumble is a thing, so you can just actually play it properly. Which means Game Boy Advance, where's WarioWare Twisted already? Come on. What are we doing here? So they definitely have NSO games to go for a long time.
All right, fair enough.
Is what I'm trying to get at.
But there's one last thing I kind of want to bring up because I kind of just remembered it as we were having conversations. It's actually Mark would love this one. It's regarding Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So they just announced, and I believe they've already released the DLC. It's for the latest movie Superhero, so it features like all the characters there, including Gohan, Piccolo, their new forms in there, as well as what was it, Gamma like A and B, 1 or 2, something like that. As well as Cell Max and a couple other just casts of like different like lines and whatnot when you add them into like battles and whatnot. So that's just a nice little thing that they continue to keep that up, especially with Sparking Zero.
Yeah,
but that's the only thing.
I need to pick up Sparking Zero, man. I need to pick it up so bad.
It's very nice, but I think that's everything. Honestly,
PlayStation got the premium, their premium and extra for the month, like the drops. The only big notable one for me was that they're finally, after all these years, they re-released Medieval 2.
Oh, okay.
Which was really cool. It was really cool because, like, here's the thing: they always re-release Medieval, the first one. It's always on there, and I know this because I went to go buy it on PS5, and it was already on my account because I have it on PS3. So I was like, "Oh, tight." And then they re-released Medieval Resurrection, which is just the PSP version of Medieval 1, and then they remade Medieval 1 on PS4. So I was like, great.
That's great. But
Yeah, I love it. But for the first time ever, the PS1 sequel that most people forget exists, Medieval 2, is actually out and about now, and I have downloaded it. I have not played it yet. I'm looking forward to jumping on it. I'm gonna get the platinum for that game. I want to. That's a cool. It's a cool little gem. Again, most people don't even know there is a sequel. Um, it's really cool. It takes place in like Gothic London.
whoa.
It's basically like he's like Sir Daniel Fortescue's been sleeping for years, and so like he finally has to wake up again because something's wrong, and it's basically a little bit like steampunk, like cyber, like steampunk London.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's like he has a girlfriend and everything. It's pretty cool.
Whoa, it's wild.
And he's like, there's an actual damsel in distress and everything. It's crazy. Like,
Crazy. I okay. I was gonna say, like, it's nice to like see PlayStation like release like those games, some
mhm.
oldies. There was like I'm trying to remember. There was one game that I've been looking into. That was on I think the PSP, if not the Vita. It was like it was a strategy type of game. And it
Hmm.
was recent. It was kind of well, I mean, yeah, last year I think that they actually like dropped it, and it was gonna be like 30 or 40 bucks like on their shop. So I just don't remember what it was called though.
30 or 40 bucks
Something like that. I
for
don't
the
know.
strategy game.
Yeah, strategy RPG, kind of isometric camera. You're controlling units here and there. It had very unique art style for it. So I was like, hmm.
Hmm. It's first party Sony,
Well, it's exclusive like to like the portable like handhelds.
but they released it on PS5.
Yeah, they did like release that. I just don't remember what it was called though. Uh,
Tight.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'll look into it later. But yeah, I guess that's everything, guys. In that case,
Yeah.
unless Phil, you got anything else to bring up, we can go ahead and like wrap up.
Uh. Uh. I'm trying
Uh,
to think of something. If I have anything else.
I will say this has been the longest January of my life.
Well, yeah, we get what 3 paychecks in January, so
Ooh, that is nice.
yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I've just been okay, I guess. Like we've been chilling. I know I haven't seen you in person in forever since
I know
November, really, but I know. It's
it's
just
rough. I know you're tired.
oh, that statement isn't even close. I had dinner with Anaya last week. I don't know. It was a randomly like it wasn't planned.
How dare
Something like
you? How
he came in to pick up Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. And he didn't have the car with him, and so he was gonna walk home.
oh yeah.
And in our usual like friend group, we're really chill with each other enough to be like, "Did you just want to take my car and just pick me up later?" Like, because I'll like when I clock out, I'll just come back. I'll drop you back off home, you know. And he
Uh,
was like, "Nah, you know what? I'm gonna wait for you." And I'm like, "Huh?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna wait for you at this taco place." And he
wait
just
for
went to the
you.
taco place. He just chilled, and I got out late and everything too. And he was just chilling there. So I went back in there and I had dinner. And
That's
when I
nice.
sat down, Justin, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't realize how long I've been cooped up in this house other
Mhm.
than work because it felt like, whoa, like I'm out and about
Oh, I see what you
again.
mean.
Like it's been like I love my son to death for sure. It's
Mhm.
just we're here because he doesn't have like
You're stuck there.
anything. Yeah, yeah.
Cause
We're stuck there
yeah,
for a little bit because we want to make sure he's okay for now.
yeah.
We're planning to get his first like vaccinated shots in 2 weeks. We're almost there. Once he has those, we can finally be out and about again.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, you guys have definitely been like working for like ever since like December. And
yeah,
it's just yeah, I can only imagine like how long it's been since then, or at least how you're perceiving time as it is.
yeah. By the time we're gonna be out and about, he'll already be 2 months old. So
Oh man, dude.
yep. So
And
it's been
and
fun.
yeah, and by the end of like this year, like you might hear something out of them
Babies normally start talking at like
until
9, no, 10
9.
months.
Hmm.
10 months. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh man.
He'll be speaking gibberish to us soon enough.
Okay. Mortal Kombat.
Why didn't you tech that?
Why you not? Tatsumaki.
Holy bust a wall.
S and Goon.
Hey, yo, no. He's not a ghoul. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Guys, it's been a good one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this episode of DangIT Podcast. It's been episode 532. My name is Justin.
And I'm Philip.
And thanks for watching, everybody. #bye, everybody.